Welcome back to another week of Shofar Safari. I'm here with Zaki and Kiara. We're really excited. Can you see how excited Zach is? We're gonna go on a safari and we are inviting you guys to come with. So pack your Bibles, pack your binos, and we are gonna learn about Joseph this week. Because last week we learned a little bit about him. Remember, he went all the way to Pharaoh. Now he's sitting in Egypt and he is going to be introduced back to his brothers. We're so glad you guys have joined us. We'll check you guys just now. Whoa, I'm getting a news flash. Zaki, are you getting a news flash? Yeah, let's head over to the news team. Bye. Good evening and welcome. I am your host, Winston, and I am Albertina. We bring you news from the field, from the wild, and from Safari. This week's breaking news, Albertina. This week, the children have made a wonderful fashion statement. They have shown us their favorite jungle suits, the most colorful creations you can imagine. Wow! We cross now live from the field.
Hi guys! We think the horse's name should be Spark. Genesis 39 verse 21. But the Lord was with Joseph and he showed him his steadfast love. And he
gave him
his
favor in the sight
of
keeper.
the keeper of the prison.
Mooi. So bye guys.
Bye guys!
Almost over.
Genesis 39 vers 21. Terwijl Jozef in die tronk was die Here by hom en hy het troud liefde gewys sodat die tronkbewaarder goed gesind geword het.
Isn't it amazing to see the different types of fashion these children have? I would love to have a wardrobe like that. It would make me so excited. Oh, yes, okay. Well, thank you for joining us. Remember, we'll see you next week. Same time, same place, where we bring you news from the field, from the wild, and from Safari. Good night. Goodbye.
Hi. It's good to see you again. Welcome here at the main camp. So today we're going to continue with the story of Joseph. I don't know if you can still remember what we learned last time about Joseph. How he had dreams and his brothers became jealous of him because his father also made him that nice coat. And then they threw him in a pit and then they sold him as a slave to the Ishmaelites. They took him to Egypt and he just wanted to do his work well there at Potiphar, and then his wife liked him and she told a bad story about him. A lie that was not the truth, and because of that he ended up in jail. And then there in the jail he was there with the baker and the chief butler, or they also call him a cupbearer, and they had dreams and they didn't understand what the dreams meant, and then Joseph told them because God showed him what the dreams meant, and then what he told him became true. And then he said to them, but to the cupbearer or the chief butler, that when he come out of jail, he must remember to tell the Pharaoh about him, because he was unfair there in the jail. But the chief butler forgot about it. And so only after 2 years after the chief butler was restored in his position, then the Pharaoh one night or one morning woke up and he had 2 dreams, and he was very worried about this, because he realized that these dreams mean something, but he didn't know what it means. And he asked all his magicians to come and tell him, what do these dreams mean? But they couldn't tell him. And then the chief butler or the cupbearer remembered Joseph, and he said, no, but I know this guy here in the jail. His name is Joseph, and he told me what my dream mean, and what he told me became true. So he will be able to tell you what your dream means. So then the Pharaoh called Joseph out of the prison, and he came to the Pharaoh, and then the Pharaoh said to him, can you tell me my dream? And then Joseph said, but I don't know what your dream mean, but God will show to me what your dreams meant. So then Pharaoh told him his 2 dreams. So he said, in the first dream, there were 7 fat, good-looking cows coming out of a river, and they were grazing there at the side of a river. And then there came ugly and withered cows. There also 7 of them came out of the river, and they ate the fat, good-looking cows. But after they ate the fat, good-looking cows, they still looked very thin and withered. And then in the second dream, he saw this stalk with 7 heads of grain, 7 healthy, good-looking heads of grain. And then there was another stalk coming up, a very dry stalk, withered, with 7 withered heads of grain. And they devoured the good-looking heads of grain. But after they devoured it, it still looked very thin and very withered. And then Joseph said to him, but these 2 dreams actually mean the same thing. It means that there's going to be 7 years of plentiful harvest. There's going to be lots of rain. There's going to be lots of grain. There's going to be too much food for 7 years. But then after the 7 years, there will be 7 years of drought, and the people will not have enough food. They will become hungry. There will not be any food on the lands. The farmers won't be able to harvest anything. So then the Pharaoh asked Joseph, okay, but so what should we do? And then Joseph said, but you must appoint somebody who will go and gather in 1/5 of all the grain during the 7 years of abundance, where there's going to be plenty of grain. That one out of every 5 bags of grain you must collect from all the farmers, and must build big storehouses where they can put the grain for the 7 years of drought and of famine, where there's not going to be enough. And then the Pharaoh said, but you have the wisdom of God, and I'm going to appoint you over Egypt. You will be second in charge of the whole of Egypt, and you must delegate the gathering in of all the grain during the 7 good years, and then you must sell the grain when there's going to be famine. So he made Joseph second in charge of Egypt, and he gave him his signet ring, and he also gave him his second best chariot, which is like a wagon with 2 horses in front of it. And he said, wherever you go, the people must bow down before you when you ride in this chariot. And he also gave him an Egyptian wife called Asenath. So then Joseph became second in charge of Egypt, and he went around Egypt and commanded the people to build the big storehouses where they could put in the grain, and they collected the grain from all the farmers, 1/5 of all the harvest. So 1 out of every 5 bags of grain they put in these storehouses, and they collected lots and lots and lots of bags of grain, and they tried to count everything, but after a while they couldn't count it anymore. So many were all these grain. And then the 7 years of drought came, and the people became hungry. They didn't have enough food anymore, and they went to Pharaoh, and they said to Pharaoh, but we are hungry, and there's no more grain, there's no more rain, nothing is happening, the land is dry, we don't have food. And then the Pharaoh said, but just go to Joseph, and he will sell grain to you. So then all the people of Egypt went to Joseph, and he sold grain to them. And so Joseph's dad, Jacob, and his brother, they heard about the grain that there's in Egypt because they also had a drought. So the countries or the lands all around Egypt, there was also a drought. So then Jacob said to his sons, okay, go to Egypt and go and buy grain there because we don't have any more food. So he sent 10 of his sons, but the youngest son, Benjamin, he said, no, he must stay behind because he's the youngest brother. Joseph was the second youngest brother, and Jacob thought that Joseph had died. So now he didn't want to lose his youngest son too. So he said, Benjamin must stay with me, but the rest of you go to Egypt and go and buy grain. And then when his brothers came there to Joseph, then Joseph recognized them. But they didn't recognize Joseph because Joseph looked like an Egyptian and he also spoke the Egyptian language. So he didn't speak Hebrew to them. So he spoke the Egyptian language and then there was translated to them the Hebrew language. So they didn't know it was Joseph. But Joseph recognized them and then he said to them, where are you coming from? Who are you? And then they said to him, no, but we are 10 brothers and our dad sent us to come and buy grain. And then Joseph, he missed his brothers, but especially he missed his youngest brother, Benjamin. And Benjamin was not there. And he said, are you all the brothers? And they said, no, but our one brother, Joseph, died, and our other brother, Benjamin, is with our dad. And then Joseph said to them, but I don't believe you. I think you are spies. You just want to come and spy this land. So then he put them in jail for 3 days. And then after 3 days, he took them out of a jail again and he said to them, okay, I still don't believe you, but I'm going to give all of you grain, but one of you must stay behind in the jail. So then he said to Simeon must stay behind in the jail, and he commanded his servants to fill all the bags of grain, and he said to them that they must put also their money that they brought to buy the grain, they must put on top of the bags. So when his brothers went back, and the first night they stayed over on their way back to their dad, they realized, okay, but the money is on top of the bags. And then they became very worried because they said, oh no, what happened here? Now he's going to accuse us that we want to steal the grain. And then they went back to his father Jacob, and they told everything to his father Jacob. And his dad was very worried because they said to him, no, but he said to us, next time Benjamin must come with us, otherwise he's not going to believe us, and then he's going to put all of us in jail. And his dad was very sad, but after a year or so, his dad realized, okay, now the grain is finished again. They must go and buy grain, some more grain. And then his one son, Judah, said to his dad, Jacob, but listen, I will make sure that Benjamin comes. So then they went back to Egypt to buy some more grain. And then Joseph invited them for a meal at his place. And he prepared, they prepared a big table for all of them. And while they prepared the table, Joseph started to cry because he missed his brothers a lot. So he was crying, and he went in his private room and he go and wash his face, and then he came back, and then they sat with him and they ate, and he made sure that they sat in the order of the ages. So he first put the eldest brother, which is Reuben, on one side of the table. Then, according to the age, that same order that he put them until Benjamin, who was the youngest son, and he made sure that Benjamin get more food than all the other brothers. And the brothers they didn't know what was happening because how did this guy know the order of the ages? And then Joseph said, okay, he's going to give them grain again. And so he commanded his servants to fill the bags of grain and to put their money back in their bags. And he also commanded them to put the silver cup in the top of Benjamin's bag. And so then the brothers go back, and they was not far away from Egypt when Joseph sent the soldiers to go and catch them and to ask them, okay, but why did you take my silver cup? So when the soldiers arrived there with the brothers, the brother said, but no, but we didn't take anything. And then the soldiers opened the bags, and then there, the silver cup was there in the top of Benjamin's bag, and they became very worried, and they actually, the Bible said they tore their clothes because they were angry now, because what's going to happen now? So then the soldiers took them back to Joseph, and they were very worried because they said, no, this thing happened to us because God is punishing us for what we have done to our brother Joseph. So then they arrived there with Joseph, and they still didn't know that it was Joseph. And then Joseph, he couldn't help himself. He just started to cry anymore, and he said to all the servants, now go out. I just want to be alone with these men. And then while he was crying there, he said to his brothers, now listen, but you know who I am. I am your brother Joseph that you sold to Egypt. And you wanted to do evil to me, but God used it for good, because God brought me to this life so that I can become second in charge, that I can save the people from hunger through this famine. And then he asked his brothers, but no, our dad, is he still alive? And they said yes. And he said, no, but our dad must come. You all of you must come here to Egypt, because there's 2 years of drought that has passed, but there's still 5 years left of this drought. So you must come here, and I'll give you a nice place where you can stay, and you will have enough food for the rest of the drought. So he sent his brothers with wagons to his dad to go and fetch his dad and his brothers and their families and their children. And then when his dad Jacob heard about this, he was very glad. He was excited to see his son, because he was already very old. He said, okay, I want to go to Egypt. I want to see my son Joseph before I die. And so when they all came back to Egypt, then they was united again with their brother Joseph, and they was very glad to his dad Jacob was very glad to see his son Joseph again, and to see all and to be together again as a family. So this is basically where the story ends for today. Okay, so I want to ask you one question. Can you still remember how many years there was plenty of food, and how many years there were a famine? Was it 3 years, or 5 years, or 7 years? It was 7 years. Okay, and what do we learn from this lesson? Well, there are many things that we can learn from this lesson, but one thing we can learn from this lesson is that Joseph, even though his brothers did a very bad thing to him and sold him as a slave to Egypt, when he was second in charge of Egypt, so he was like just below the king, he could decide, okay, but my brothers did something bad to me, so now I'm going to get them back. But he decided not to do it. He decided to forgive his brother. So, and likewise, we must also forgive our brother and our sister when they do something bad to us. Okay, so that's the story for today. It's a long story, but I hope you will remember something of this. And now, after the story, we're going to the Boma, and you're going to learn a memory verse. So until next time, I'll see you again. Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Boma. Can you remember the verse that we learned last week? It stands in Genesis 39 verse 21. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him steadfast love and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. The verse that we're going to learn this week stands in Philippians 4 verse 19. And my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. Let's do that one more time. Philippians 4 verse 19. And my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. I hope that you can send through your memory verse. Let's head over to see what's our challenge for the week. Bye everyone.
What a view of the river. So beautiful. Oh, hey monkey, I haven't seen you in like forever.
I know. The last time I saw you, you were trying to shovel marshmallows in your mouth.
Okay, let's not remind me.
So, since you're here, I wanted to do a challenge for the kids.
Okay, am I gonna have to eat marshmallows again?
No, except Joseph did have a dream, and this week the kids are learning about Joseph. But don't worry, no marshmallows. This week, I think the children should show us their favorite food. Because, remember, Joseph had to stockpile all of the food for the Pharaoh to make sure that the country didn't go into famine.
Oh, that's awesome.
So kids, you show us your favorite meal, and you can send us the picture of your favorite meal with you doing the memory verse. We would love to see. Right now, me and Rhino, we're gonna go and eat our favorite food.
Yeah, mine is definitely grass.
And mine is fruit. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Hi kids, I hope you enjoyed the lesson about Joseph. Let's go to the bird hide. Craft, we are going to need some sticky tape, wool or string, a scissors, some toothpicks, an egg box, toilet roll, an old bottle, some colors, and a bit of paper. Hi kids, welcome to the bird hide. Let's ask Mum and Dad to get us the things that we need for the craft. Are you guys ready for the craft? Let's start. Do you remember in the lesson that Pharaoh saw 7 fat cows and 7 thin cows? Today we're going to make some nice fat cows. This is what we are going to make. To start with, our cow needs some legs. We are going to take the toilet roll and make some holes for the legs. Ask Mum and Dad to help you make the holes. Okay. Once you have made all of the holes, you can take some toothpicks and put them in. These are going to be the legs. You can also use some sticks from the garden if you don't have toothpicks. Aha, there our cow can stand. Next, our cow needs a head. We are going to use the egg box to cut out a head. Cut out 1 square of the egg box. Once you cut it out, you can draw some eyes and a snout for your cow. And then you can give your cow its head. Next, our cow needs some horns. For this, we are going to use the old bottle. If you take off the cap, then you can cut off this little thing. Then, stretch it a small bit and make some holes for the horns to go through. Then put your horns into the head. and put your head back on the cow. If you don't have an old bottle, you can use some sticks or even toothpicks for the horns. Now we're going to give our cow some spots. For this, you can take a bit of paper and cut it out so that it folds nicely around the cow. Then, take your colours and colour it in. I gave mine some black spots, but you can give yours multicoloured spots if you want. Then, once you've coloured it in, you can take your sellotape and stick it onto the cow. Lastly, but most importantly, our cow needs a tail. Ask Mum and Dad to help you make a little hole in the back of the cow. Then, once you've made the hole, take your string or your cotton wool and cut a little tail for your cow. Now you can use a toothpick to poke the string through the hole, and then tie a small knot. There we are. I hope you enjoyed playing with your little cows.
What's next? I wanna face this world with wonder and excitement. Face every challenge every day. Wherever you lead me, I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Life will be crazy, wild and amazing. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Wherever you lead me, anything can happen. Can't hardly wait to see what's next. I wanna face this world with wonder and excitement. Face every challenge every day. I'm gonna follow. I'm trusting you, God. You are good. Life will be crazy.
We've had such a lacquer game drive. Can you see Zach is looking a little tired now? So we're gonna head back to the main camp where we're gonna have a chilled afternoon. We hope you guys had a wonderful lesson. Remember to send us through your videos, your challenges. We can't wait to see them. We'll check you guys next time. Bye!